Here we go again.
Hello. I'm passionate about this because I'm losing money.
You have not lost money until you actually withdraw the money. So as long as it's still there, ride out the storm. By the way,
You bought the dip
I bought the dip.
until the dip continues to dip. Yeah.
If you fail and then you try again, you could succeed.
It might not be at the second try.
You might be
Might
at the
take one-
770 second.
You see that this other person. You can hear. Hi
Hi,
guys.
folks.
Again, we'll find out. We'll figure out what to call you.
I mean,
Deshala has a problem with hi guys.
I do.
I've come to like it actually. I'm used to it now.
Okay. We don't necessarily have to have a thing here.
Yeah, we're just
Really?
us.
I mean,
Our
what
community is our
exactly?
community.
It's not so serious. We're
It's
just
not
here to
cliche.
just, we're here to unwind after a week, so it's not so serious. Whatever
Yeah.
comes to your head, whatever works.
So, hi guys, welcome to another episode. And if you're still listening to us as of right now, I don't know why.
I
Actually,
do know. I know why. I know why. It's because we're amazing.
Oh,
So, thank
I
you.
love the
Thank you.
energy.
Thank you for joining us again on another episode of Between You and Us.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode. How are you?
I'm good.
Good,
Again.
good.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I don't know. I've had an interesting couple of days. Some uncertainties or some things not working out exactly how I planned it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster kind of week. But yeah, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. So that's how I am. When you ask me, I'm like, okay. By the time you guys are listening to this, we don't know what will be happening in the world at that time. But at the time that we're recording this,
I am convinced that the situation will probably
honestly, with that man,
be
child,
worse.
oh please.
beat the
Honestly,
with
I don't-
protest.
no, let's be hopeful, but for the better, because I mean, it's going to affect a lot. It is affecting us in one way or the other. So we're hoping that things will be better by the time you're hearing this. But if not, blame the solar. But for context, we're recording this in like the heat of the tariff drama situation that is going
I
on.
don't know if it's the heat of it because I just see more it coming and coming and coming.
Right? Or the beginning of it.
This
Yeah, let's
it's
say the beginning.
So this has actually been going on for a while.
No,
I mean,
it's just like March, April that it's really been the top
yeah,
of town.
but like the talk has been on since last year.
Even before, like even when it was campaigning, it was
exactly.
one of the things
When it
that
was
he said was going to
campaigning,
do.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know who we're
That's
talking
why
about,
I already said POTUS.
I call him man child.
That's
Trump.
Nice. That's
Don't
not-
cancel us, but I
That's
mean, it's
not
affecting
nice.
us. I am passionate about this because I'm losing money. They say it's not
You
losing
have not
money.
lost money.
Okay,
How many times
oh.
am I going to
When
say
you
this?
open your wealth simple, do you see minus in red? What does that mean? It means the money is lessing. It's lessing by the day.
You have not lost money until you actually withdraw the money. So as long as it's still there, ride out the storm.
Ah. My brothers and sisters, we're actually recording this episode and I don't know what we'll hope is the beginning and end of the tariff wars. And so interestingly, that I said that we'll talk about money one time. We probably will still talk about it. This is not the money episode, right?
Yeah.
But like we've been trying to be intentional about investing, which again, where we're coming from or like growing up probably wasn't a popular topic.
I don't. Okay, so I think it was just a different kind of investment.
Yes.
So
yes.
investment was
Than in
definitely a
stock,
thing
yeah.
because our
Eh,
parents,
it was a
for us,
thing.
our
My
parents
parents bought me
invested in
shares.
Okay.
They bought me. No,
Yeah.
They knew my mom used to work in the bank, so they bought me shares. They bought my siblings shares. We don't know where it is now. They probably didn't keep the records.
I can't remember which company it was recently. Like there were so many unclaimed dividends
Oh,
that they had to ask.
a lot.
That they had to ask. Like this was Nigeria. That they had to ask people to
Yeah,
actually go and find their names.
a
and
lot.
to claim their
There's
dividends.
a law. I don't know if it's a law now or just like a provision that says that if you have unclaimed dividend, you've carried it for 6 months, you are then allowed to recognize it back into your books.
Yeah.
So you wipe out and this is from like the accounting perspective. Because when you declare the dividend, you need to make a provision to pay.
Yeah.
So you have a liability in your books. Yeah, I'm sure we've mentioned it before
Yeah,
that
I
I'm an
mean,
accountant.
I know we all had like accounts open
Yeah.
for us, like when we
Be
were like
saving
really
money.
young.
That's why
But
I
let me
said
tell
it
you,
was
let me
not
tell you,
popular.
Investment has always been a thing, but I think that that generation invested more in properties.
Yeah.
Property was like their goal. The
Yeah.
ideal for them was when they retired, they had rental
It, that's
properties,
even
which
true,
is
so because that's the generation that believe that if you put money in bank, you're losing money. They
yeah,
can steal your money,
yeah.
and I don't blame them. They had a couple bank failures like while we're growing up.
Polaris Bank, for example, the transition that that
Oh
bank
yeah,
has
they've
gone
gone through
through.
and gone through and gone
The,
through.
the reason I know this was because it was the bank my dad opened the account with. It was AfriBank at the time.
Oh yeah,
At the time we had the
yeah,
accounts, it was AfriBank.
yeah.
At the time when my dad handed it over to me, it was Sky Bank.
Nice
Right now
Polaris.
it's
I'm sure
Polaris
from
Bank.
I think
And
it's
it
has moved
has
from
even
Polaris
gone
to something
through
else.
multiple phases. It's still Polaris.
Anyway, we digress. That's not the important thing in this conversation. So, yeah, if you are in our ship, so again, why we brought this up was we've started talking about like investing here in this climate. Banks offer investment services.
Yeah.
You can do self manage. They can do the investing for you. Like the big banks here, they have their investment arms as well, and then you have investment houses. You know how you have piggy bank and the rest of it in Nigeria. Here we have Wealth Simple, Quest Trade, Tangerine, this. So we've started investing, and I'm just like,
Sorry. Before you get into it, I just wanted to make a remark on the happenings of this week.
what happened?
I feel bad for journalists, what they are going through. The reason
Because things are changing per second per second.
things are no photos is showing them paper.
Ah,
One of the one that made me laugh, one of the newsletters that I try to read, there's this guy, he talks about money. You should actually listen to his podcast as well because he talks about
what's his
money.
name?
Since Matt Levin, his podcast is the money stuff.
Oh, I think I've seen him before.
Yeah. So he wrote a newsletter. He posted it. Then 1 minute later, just posted
Increase
stuff
oh my
on
God.
his social truth
Oh
and
my
a
God.
change. I think it was a tariff. The tariff to China, the retaliatory tariff. I think it was at 104%. At the time he released it at 112. Then Potos decided to post at 113. That tariff is now
See
125.
that this
By the
week,
time the day ended, it was 145. I
It's
don't know what
been
it
a
is. I don't
roller
know. I do
coaster.
not know what it is right now, but
it's been a roller coaster, honestly. Because I remember, I told you my manager to invest their money, and then he'll check his portfolio every time, and he'll tell me, market is doing better. Market is before I will go and check the market is failing. I'm like, please, guy, please, day your day.
By the way,
You bought the dip
I bought the dip.
until the dip continues to dip. Until it continues to dip. A lot is happening. Sha,
There's
sha,
a lot
sha.
going on.
If you are in my buckets, my WhatsApp group, baby investors, I hail you. I hate because did you see my post on Instagram?
It was that post on Instagram that made me. You remember that day I called and I'm like, let's talk about this because this is not something you typically post about. And then you posted, I'm like, okay, you're passionate about it. Let's write on
I'm
this.
not though. I'm not passionate.
Or
I
you're
just,
angry.
I'm, yeah,
Or
I'm angry.
you have some emotions towards it, right?
Yes, because when I got into Wealth Simple last year, and I bought a couple stuff, it was making money.
Yeah,
It was making money.
that's
No,
the thing with stuff.
actually, it's beautiful to see green.
Yeah.
I swear to you. Check. Just open your. Since you opened your Wealth Simple, since I putting money, have you been seeing green? Have you seen any green?
I've seen green. Yeah.
It is beautiful too. Like, so at some point last year, my portfolio was showing 30% plus. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I'm doing this thing. I even forced my husband to buy some things. Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
Don't.
Then
You're speaking to
please,
son.
oh
It's-
please,
this,
please,
This,
let me finish.
okay, I
All
apologize.
this optimism, I don't buy it. Then now I'm seeing red everywhere, every time. I've stopped checking, by the way, until they figure out whatever is going on with their life. But anyway, the gist of it is, if you're in my bucket as a first time investor or as a baby investor, I hail you. Don't give yourself a heart attack.
I wanted to
Don't
say
watch
something,
it.
but oh my god.
Old age.
Oh no.
Old
no.
age.
It will come to me.
Don't check
It was going to be relevant. I just wanted to finish talking so that I'll just say it and then.
old
Oh.
age. Old age. Old age. This lie is old. In any case, I think that kind of opens up the conversation about how just trying new things, right?
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, I believe in saving, and in Nigeria, I had mutual funds, right? So, but that wasn't really investment. It was pretty much sure, right? Your money was not going. It is investments, right? But not like investment in stock markets. It was like a balanced. I think here we have mutual funds here as well. They call it balanced and all that kind of thing. So you're almost sure that your capital is safe,
Yeah.
right? You might not grow as much as you would like it. So for the longest time, I've always had mutual funds and savings. Savings was my thing. Okay, let's do that. Last year, there was something we were saving towards, and after achieving that goal, I'm like, okay, now we can invest, right? And starting new, starting fresh, starting afraid. Do it afraid. Have you had the days to say that? And I did it afraid. And that's why I started with like the whole tariff investment thing. But like just starting something new. Have you started, how do you feel, what emotions comes
Let's see.
with starting things?
Starting things is always, it's always scary. Let me not say always scary. It can be also be exciting because there are different phases of starting. Okay, for example, for myself, in the past, this is 2025. In the past 4 years, I have moved
Yeah.
how many times? One, two,
Where did you move?
three, four. Like I've moved at least 5 times. Now, when I say move, some of them were major moves, like actually moving
Move
countries, actually
Continents, even.
continents. Some of them
Yes,
were
continents.
yeah. Some of them were smaller moves, like moving houses and
Changing jobs.
changing jobs. But every time, if when I start move of okay, moving to another country, there is that excitement. Okay, what am I going to experience? But there's also that fear of I'm starting all over
Yes,
again.
mostly that fear.
Also, the same thing where like you're moving jobs, you're starting a new job.
You just said
you're like,
something, starting all over again.
Yeah.
As if that's bad. It's
I
scary.
know, it is scary.
But it's not,
It's not.
could be bad, but not necessarily, right?
Yeah, starting all over. Maybe we should not.
You said it. You said
I was
it.
gonna bury it up, and I'm like, should we stay on this now, or should it be a new episode entirely? Okay, let's just leave it for now. We'll come back.
I said you pack it.
Let's pack it back. We'll unpack it in the future. But yes, there's also that fear of say you're starting a new job. I remember every time the first day of the job is always like, am I going to
What
be
am I
useful?
doing?
Exactly, what am I
here?
because
Like imposter syndrome.
exactly, especially when you know that you want to offer so much value, you know that there is so much value that you can give, but you're not sure yet because you don't even understand the terrain yet. You're still trying to learn.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem. We don't give
I feel like a
ourselves.
fraud.
We are very impatient with ourselves. We don't give ourselves.
Oh,
time
you
to-
guys, this fella is speaking to me.
We are
She's
very
literally using me as
Yeah.
an example right now.
we are very impatient with ourselves. We don't give ourselves time to, because the honest truth is you are always going to be new at something. But let me not say always, but yes, but if you're
And
starting
that's the end of the episode. That's all the nuggets that we can take for today. I'm sorry.
That's because as long as you're starting something new, one example that I can think of is going to the gym.
How is that an example? Duh.
I remember the first day I went to gym. Thankfully, the gym I signed up with, they do like a walk around for like your first time signing up. So I got in, they did a walk around, and after I was done, I was like, okay, cool, happy workout. And you like everyone seems to know what they're doing, and then you're trying to like, okay, what is this machine? What am I supposed to do with it? And I'm like, okay, I don't get it. So I was not really sure what to do, and I'm like, okay, I don't get the machine. So I just went to a cardio. I'm like, at least I understand the treadmill. Just did treadmill, did it for like, I don't know, 30 minutes and then left. And I remember that before the next time, we had the gym stuff had an app. So there was tutorials on how to use the machines. If you see the way I sat down watching all the different tutorials, just so I don't look clueless. But what I wanted to bring out of that is what is wrong with looking clueless. It is you are new at it. It's the first time. There is absolutely nothing wrong.
But I mean, I hear you. There's nothing wrong. But do you also think that we're in a world that mostly does not appreciate newness? Newness not that you're bringing new ideas, just that they're impatient with you. Like the world is generally impatient because again, yes, fast paced. It's everybody's moving.
The world is very fast paced right now. Things have changed compared to remember then our smartphones for us were with keypads.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine typing. I can't imagine typing the way we used to type then. Oh, but the world now, everything is so impatient. Like you order stuff at the snap of your finger.
We digress. It ties back to the
I get
fear,
it,
the genuine fear that comes with
You don't want
starting
to
new,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Not only do you not want to look stupid or you don't want to fail,
Yeah.
which is the biggest the fear of failure
Yeah.
is the biggest thing that
Mm-hmm.
brings up this fear of starting afresh or starting new, or starting over, right? But apart from the fear of failure that you yourself feels, there's also the fear that the world is moving,
Yeah.
and nobody gonna
Nobody
wait for you. Nobody's being. I mean, you might be lucky, you might be
finds an
fortunate, you find people that is actually
environment here.
an environment that is patient for you to catch up. Which again, I think that should be the norm. It
So
shouldn't
that's
be.
that's the problem. It's like we have normalized what should not be,
Yeah,
what should not be. At least I'm grateful at my current job. I did have room. I mean, there was expectation of you should catch on fast, because the reason there was expectation of you should catch on, because those things were not so hard, and I
yeah,
did catch up. Like,
yeah.
as long as you're a smart person, you have the basic skills. There are things like you're able to catch
Get
up on
together.
fast.
Yeah.
So I get that there's always that room where there's some things that, yeah, I should,
But
but
and again, it seems like we're using the example
level
of
of
work
work.
because we're corporate girlies. But
There are other things. It's
there are
not
other
just
things that
even this
starting new.
podcast for us. Maybe we should talk about the podcast.
Guys, I think in our first episode we talked about why we decided to do it, like just leaving, and it's the truth
Yeah.
because we overthink things, we overplan things, we overconsider things. We think about it. You have an idea today, and you
And
just
then
ruminate and ruminate. See, let's not mention them, but we know another set of people that's they decided, but they didn't go forward with it. But let's not name names.
no shades.
No, no shit. But it's just the truth of the matter, right? It's a case of you decide that you want to do this. Sometimes even within yourself, you know that I really, really want to do
But you're
this.
scared. You're scared
Just
of
the
how
fear of
you're scared of how you be perceived. I mean, because yes, because podcast, when we talked about starting a podcast, one of the things I was actually scared of is the
will I get cancelled?
exactly,
Will I say something wrong?
exactly, or
Will people take me seriously?
yeah, or you know that you're a smart person, but you're not feeling like, okay, now people are going to find out I'm a fraud. I'm actually not smart. When they
Yeah.
hear me,
Yeah.
they're going to really see that. Oh,
What she
I
said.
think
Like they'll be like, who is this one?
like there's
But
always
that's the beautiful thing about starting the podcast. You are scared shitless, like you yourself, you are scared that people are not going to listen. But there's also the possibility that people
What if you
might
fly?
listen. People might
Listen.
listen. Like you are probably this person that is listening to us now, like you that you're listening to us now. Best believe that at some point we thought, what if you didn't listen? But here you are
Yeah,
listening.
listen.
Imagine if we had stayed
I'm glad that, and then the way we start, I think one of the way we started was the moment we talked about it, we in
Yeah.
person, the following day we bought a microphone.
yeah,
And I think that was a good thing. I think if we had stalled,
you'll
you
get
probably
over
would
it.
have we probably would
Yeah.
have died down, because you probably would have let all that fear sink in, or you would
Yeah.
have come up with many different reasons not to go through with
And
it.
the funny thing is, we would have still continued to have these conversations that we're having.
exactly, but
no
then-
other person will be hearing it.
Yeah.
I think that people that are called to ministry, like just general ministries, it doesn't have to be like to pastor a church, maybe to care for children or care for widows or something. Imagine all the doubts that they will have to deal with before they start.
That's things.
I know I deal with self that.
It's always I see because the job one, it's always rocks me, because I'm like, okay, so it's my first, what am I going to do?
I have a so I changed jobs twice last year, right? And I know that I am generally a smart person, like just generally, like it doesn't even have to. But I know, okay, you know what they say about like immigrants struggling when they start. My first job in Canada, it was a struggle. It was a struggle because partly because this thing we say about the world being fast paced, the environment was very fast paced, and I knew the work, right? I knew the core of the work, auditing, right? I knew it, but here it's done differently. That there are a few different things, and the people you're working with are different. The companies that you're auditing is different, but the expectation was there's nobody to teach you. You have to figure it out. You have to learn. You have to just figure it out, and especially when you're starting at a level that is probably higher, because again you have the associates that they can forgive you if you're feeling small.
Yeah. But
right? But you're at a level that they don't expect you. They says you just figure it out.
Yeah.
Know it. So it was a bit of not a bit. It was a lot of struggle for me, and that kind of did something to my self-esteem a little at the time as well. Because I say that because when I now changed jobs to another job, my second job was still in public accounting, and I knew that it was going to be slower paced than where I was coming from. And I had no reason to be scared, because not only do I have all these years of experience and now have Canadian experience, and I know that it's going to be slower paced than what I was used
Okay.
to. But because if I was still starting, I was still scared
Scared.
again.
Yeah.
Then don't even now start about my current job. Oh my god. It's not completely out of what I've known before, but it's new.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that helped me through that time is was having you to, I could talk to you and be like, don't worry, if like you remember all those
Yeah.
times last year now that you figure it out, you figure it. And I have a couple other people too. Like there's somebody that she knows herself. Shout out to you. I love you forever. I'll just chat her up. I'll tell her, what if they sack me? She said, why would they sack? No, think about it. Why would they sack you? Now, like really, I know you. I know that you're smart. So think about it. Why would they sack you? Um, just like the fear, and it was.
You know,
You can handle it. You could feel
feel
it.
it.
Like it
Also,
felt
also,
real. But just the
see,
fear
so
of
from what you said, some of the fear is not entirely unfounded because,
yeah.
well, the world we're in now, you might be thrust into an environment that allows you, that gives you room for you to learn, and then unfortunately you might be thrust into, which has been your experience on both sides. I mean, you might be thrust into an environment where everyone just expects you to just
Figure it out.
figure it out at the snap of your finger. I am new. Like, I think what I want to say with this episode is that it's okay to be new. It's okay to be clueless at the beginning. If there's anything you can do, because I remember I was so worried so much that because it was an entirely different industry, I
Yeah.
didn't know anything. I
Mhm.
tried to even, I'd gone to the website, I tried to understand what they do. I was trying to understand what I was doing. I remember, like, before I was supposed to resume, I sent the person who was going to my manager an email, like, let me know what tools do you guys work with? Let me, like, these are the tools, these are the skills that I have, these are the tools that I know of. What do you guys work with so that I can prepare before I even start the
So
job?
I can go and excel.
Do you understand?
Shit,
Because
step
so
there.
that from day one, I'm already like a superstar.
So,
The world we're in now, to be honest, there is so much focus on being that.
superstar.
They call it like you're proactive, you're this, you're that. But I think sometimes we need to take a breather. It's okay to be new at stuff. If there's anything you can do before you get there, maybe by all means do it, but don't.
Before you
don't
start dropping nuggets, before you start doing conclusion,
I'm
maybe
not doing.
do you like do you think maybe it's allowed to be new when you are younger, or to start when you're younger? Do you feel like it gets, because I have experienced that, especially in my career, that at some level they don't expect. I was talking about something, I was asking for something, and then my manager was like, don't you know that you entered as a senior role in a senior position, so yeah, that one is no longer
Mm.
considered for you. I'm like, okay.
No, to be honest, in that regard, I think there is a level. Let's use very basic stuff. A child who's just learning like the one, two, threes. I don't expect to right now. Like, at the time you are in kindergarten or you're learning the ABCs and one, two, threes, that's what you're learning. At the time you are
Grade school.
in grade school, nobody's asking you for
Yeah.
ABCs.
So
At
maybe
some point, to be honest, like, of course, the goal is that you're learning, you're growing, you're getting better. So I think that at some levels there are some basic things that
newness is no longer
that newness is
acceptable.
not acceptable. That I actually agree. No, because for you, these are things that not necessarily new. I'm assuming that
Exactly.
during
Okay.
this,
Yeah. So
this,
so that
these
would be
things,
the difference.
yeah.
Is the things might be new, but it's not new to you. But then there will also be things that are new to you at
Yeah,
every
exactly.
point.
There will
Okay.
be also
So that's
exactly
the
at
message.
different levels. There will be things that are new.
But why do you
What-
think? I mean, we've probably touched. We definitely have touched on like the different things that causes like the fear of starting afresh, starting anew, starting over. Just like, and like you mentioned earlier, it's not. Some of these fears are valid.
Yeah, it
They
is
are valid.
very.
Valid. But I also find that most times, I'm trying to remember the scripture. There's a scripture that just flashed in my mind now. I'll remember it. I'll share it later. But it's something about how like fear. Oh my god, I can't see it. I'm sorry. I remember
So you know what
later.
I felt. It still hasn't come to me, and I've moved on now.
But like the fear, though valid, shouldn't hold you back, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
especially if it is what you're trying to do is sensible. Because if not, let the fear hold you, let it grip you, let it tie you up like
So how
this.
do you define what is sensible though?
No, no. Uh-uh. Run it by the, if you're a Christian, run it through the lens of God. Do you think it's good? Do you
And
think
if
it's
you're non-Christians,
whatever? If you believe in morals, I guess, run it through that lens. Like how they say, if you want to say something, think about it. Is it true? Is it
I mean,
needed?
so I guess there are some basic things that like if you want to start to rob a bank,
Ah,
we don't think that is legal. So maybe that's one of maybe don't do that. That's
okay.
so maybe don't do that.
Okay.
I
Oh.
guess if that's what is that what you're trying to say? Like
That
it's
one, let
sensible.
the fear, if you want to rob a bank, let the fear grip
Hold you
you.
back.
Let it tie you up, like let it hold you, let it keep you down.
Okay,
But
I guess as long as it's legal, it's
yeah,
not hurting anybody. What you're doing
yeah,
is
you and anybody.
it's adding some form of value. I think
Yeah,
those are like
yeah.
some
And it's for the
benchmarks.
progress of either you, the society,
Yeah, that's why.
you know,
That's like so it's adding
anything.
value.
Yeah. Ah,
No, it might not
no.
be deep now. The value can just the
Because I was going to say that
again.
what
Stop overthinking most of these things. I think that's the problem we have. Stop trying
value is
to.
a deep English language word.
It's not that serious. Trust me. Like
Value seems,
the
you
value
guys,
for
you
you can
guys,
it
when they
can
say
just be
value,
you unwinding and
but you
like
guys, when you hear value, tell me that the things that come to your mind are not profound, like intense things, things that are stellar.
it's not that intense. That's why. See, we're not even trying to use intense language. We're trying to make this as simple as possible, as very basic as yeah.
But yeah, the truth is that the fear can be very valid and it can be very crippling too.
Yeah.
And for some of us, and I assume a lot of people too, it holds you back. You feel it. I feel sometimes I feel my fear physically. I feel like my husband always says this, like, just calm down, because you know that in I'm so scared that I can't do it, I can't move forward, and then I now start making mistakes. God bless him. It would, you know how you get when you're scared about things. Like, it's just don't think about, like, writing exams. I've been writing exams for the past almost 5 years. God save my life. God save my
I
life.
cannot relate.
Yeah, I've been writing exams since 2020, and this is 2025, right? And with every exam, I sometimes feel, especially for some of the courses that I don't particularly like, the fear is palpable. Like, I can touch the fear, and it now scares me so much. Sometimes I cry, and it's like, just calm down, calm down, just give it a try. And that's one thing I'm trying to do now. It's really like with the exam, my upcoming exam that I was telling you about. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what if I pass it? What if I write and I pass it? And what if I fail it? It's okay. It's okay, because one thing I've
Mm,
figured out, of one thing I've found in my life is I'm not used to, and again, it probably sounds cliche to say that I'm not used to failure, but I have hardly failed in anything, especially in recent times.
problem is that you've not done plenty things.
Bam, bam, and so I'm not used to experiencing failure. I remember when I failed my only exam that I failed at ACCA. It felt so weird. Like, how could I fail? Like, how? What does it feel like to fail? This is how you people feel? And at the point, I felt like it was tending towards ignorance, not ignorance, arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, why are you not to fail? It's okay. You did not read enough, or you did not write enough. That's why you failed. It's okay, right? But the fear going into the exam, even, like, I know people that have cancelled the exam just because they're scared of it. I have never done that. I'm very stubborn like that. I will do it, whether it's going to kill me. I will try it, but I'm learning to not let, beyond not even letting the fear keep me back,
Yeah.
to just leave. Like, okay, if you fail it, it's okay. You write it another time. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. There are people that write the exam multiple times before they pass. I hope I don't have to do that, because I can imagine how emotionally distraught I would be. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think we need to learn that it is okay. I think both for ourselves, starting things new, or even we that we are taking on like say now we are where we work now, you have people that report to you and they are new. It's been patient enough to let them to realize that yeah, there is a
Yeah,
learning
like
curve.
pay
There is
pay
always
it
there
forward.
is always a learning curve. So
It's good that you say that because sometimes, most of the times, even we say things from from the viewpoint of what we want.
once
We
exactly
don't tell it that
we
me
forget.
too, I
Yeah,
should
yeah.
contribute to this thing that I want to see.
Because it almost because I remember like at the time I mean I just started and in like 3 months in we had like a big task, we need like additional help, and then we had this intern, and every time at any point, if one of the things that stopped me from ever getting impatient is she's just learning.
And
She's
you were
just
at this
learning.
point
And
too.
so it was easy for me, so because also because I mean it was just very new for me and just there, so it was very easy for me to relate to how I felt just about 3 weeks. So it helped me to be patient, to be like, I'm not going to lie, there sometimes I'll be like, come on. But that's the thing, we're so sometimes the things we're asking for, even we ourselves, we find it difficult to give it to other
Give,
people, so we have
yeah.
to also always think
As
of
you
the back.
receive the grace, you should extend it to another person
There's
too.
always a learning curve. Yeah, don't let the fear hold you back. And I think that another writing off that, like when something, if you have an idea to start something, sometimes maybe I know many people hide behind the mask of, or I need it
What
to
if
be
I fail?
perfect. Aside, not even just the what if I fail, is also like making it
Right.
perfect. And I'm going to there's that very first episode. Sometimes I'm like, ah, should we want to release it? Do we want like no? Because in my head I'm like, we could be better. We could do this. We could do that.
Uh,
There's some episodes you'd be like, yeah. You know what? It's okay to not be perfect. It is a learning curve.
yeah,
just
get it
just do
going.
get it out. Yes, there is so many things that is holding you back. There is a fear of not
You,
giving something amazing, not giving out something that's quality. There's a fear of you failing at what you're doing. There's the fear of, oh, I don't want to look like I don't know this. There is the imposter syndrome. There is the fear of so many
there's a
things. But
lot
you know
of
what? There
different
is
types
so
of
much going on.
fears.
But you know what? What if you fly?
Like,
What if you
what if you make
what if
it?
you fly?
You're scared of failing. You're scared of falling. What if you what if you fly?
Fly.
And why I was laughing,
Yeah.
what struck me earlier was, it may seem like we're coming up from a place of advantage that you can afford to. I genuinely, maybe not us, not coming from, we don't particularly have that advantage.
No,
I'm
we do
sorry.
not.
We wish we
we
did,
do
but we
not come.
don't.
We did not come
But
from the place of
but,
advantage.
but I see people that are from like they're speaking from advantage and they're like, oh yeah, just do it. I envy them. But this is okay. Yes,
Okay.
take it from us that we are not from advantage. We are not speaking from advantage. So you sometimes you might fail. You
Yeah.
might.
It's. I think maybe one of the things we should say. It's actually okay to fail.
Is it done?
It might be hard, but at least you've learned. Like
Is it
you've
better to
learned one
fail
more
on a
way.
small scale?
You've learned one more way of not of not messing up. You've learned
Right.
one way of
If you
not
do not
doing the stuff.
exactly, if you do not learn how to do it, you have learned how
Not
not
to
to
do
do it.
it. So
True.
at least you've learned one.
That's true.
I get that failure is something that is scary, but I mean, many successful people are very like
You
they
fail.
always talk
Yeah.
about failing so many times. That's the interesting part. There is always but the thing is that's the parts we don't see. Those are the sides that we don't see. The sides that
Yeah.
we actually see is just
The
the
glamorous
glamorous side.
ones. The one
We,
they made it. They will not
it's
come
even
as per. Hey, do you know we're sounding like Pastor
as well.
Maguire
Yeah.
right now?
Oh
Hey, God, I
well.
beg you.
Oh
What are we
well. Oh
motivating?
well. I mean, for example, like let's take it to very very basic stuff in secondary school. Nobody sees the time when you're studying overnight. I remember my younger brother went to same secretary as I did, and I remember they would always tell him I was always reading so much, and I'll be like, "No, who's telling you that one? I don't read that much." But in retrospect, I look back and I realize that I actually did study a lot. I remember one time I had like this family friends. They would visit from time to time. In the evening, they came to visit. I was at I was on our dining. I was working on an assignment. This assignment, we had done it. We started. I'd done it with my friends in class. We didn't get it, and so she says, "I'm going to go ask for help." So she goes to ask for help. That's another thing we should talk about one of these days: asking for help. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it and figure it out.
She.
I refused. I
She.
carried it home, sat down. These guys came to visit. They were talking in the living room. I was on the dining as they were leaving. I feel bad for those for those friends out. You know them because they went to Ife. I remember they were leaving. Their dad was like, "See, look at how nobody's
Well,
telling her go and do assignments." So sometimes I remember those women and like, okay, I actually did study. That's not so nobody saw that time. Nobody saw when I was putting in all that work, and I eventually got it. And I remember when I go back, I was very excited. I go back to school. I'm like, yeah, I got it. It was so exciting for me that I figured this out of my own.
mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Just wanted to put that out there. We will talk about. I think we should talk about asking for help sometime.
Oh, well, I feel like I'll feel like a fraud speaking about
I
it
will
because
too. I will too because
I don't ask for help.
But
I
I'm
want to do it
grateful.
myself.
Yeah, but I'm grateful because it's one thing I've been learning a lot lately. Sometimes I'm like, am I taking it that much? Sometimes it's just more like, this is what the issue is. I think this is the approach I'm going to take. But I'm just letting you know.
Sounding all grown up and shit.
I'm just letting you know. I'm sometimes it's more like I've not figured it out yet. I'm still trying to figure out. Do you have any insights? No insight. Okay, don't worry. I'm going
I'll
to
figure
try to
it.
figure it out. But at least sometimes it's just talking it through with someone also helps you see other
Helps
parts.
you.
Half of the time I still figure it out. Sometimes it's when I'm talking to him
That you
and
realize that, oh, okay, this is
and
probably
he'll be like, you've answered the question. I'm like, yeah, I've answered my question. Bye.
see ya.
So it kind of helps.
And yeah, it's not even kind of like if
It
you
does
have
help
the
though.
fear of starting, ask for help.
Yeah.
Honestly, that really might just be like the key to it. Like,
yeah.
speak to, because I have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Like in the things that I've started, I've had to ask for help. I've had to speak to other people, and it helped me.
Yeah.
Even if they don't provide like the solution, just like to stay grounded and
Yeah.
just like allay some of the fears
fear,
that
the
you feel.
concerns, yeah.
Yeah, like just help you, remind you of who you are, and
Yeah.
remind you of that is it. Like just help you remind yourself
Yeah.
of who you are
and what
really and
you're
what you
capable
can
of.
do.
Yeah.
Like just have good voices. God bless my husband. Like just like have good friends, have good people in your corner that are able to help keep your head straight when that fear starts to creep in. And best believe, I don't know about anybody, but if I'm to tell you the truth, the honest God to his truth is that fear will come back multiple times.
You just have
Multiple times. So you have to keep doing the work every time.
Yeah.
You have to keep showing up for yourself every time. You have
yeah.
to keep reminding yourself of the truth.
Yeah.
Because the fear is really not the truth.
Yeah. So really going back to what we're saying about like it's okay to fail. I get that it's always scary, and what you said about failing on a small scale, it's better you fail on a small scale now, so that's because when the big scale failure happens, you've already you're prepared for it, because the big scale failure I still think will still happen. So
Yeah.
I think that once you've mastered like the small failures, the small
And how
failures,
to deal with
and
it.
dealing with them, it makes it easier to
Or at
deal
least
with.
it builds you. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Like it builds your muscle, like
Yeah.
it gets you ready
So
for it.
you need to
So whether
so build your failure muscles.
so you build muscle for everything. You build character, right?
Yeah,
So you know what is then true. Like you know that this instance of failure does not define your entire life. So you don't dwell in it and then just wallow and
Yeah.
every other thing goes.
I think that's always the
berserk.
challenging part when you fail, having to start again, having to
Keep going.
oh god. I think that part is also it's hard because it's like, what's the point? I've done it before, it didn't turn out well. So what's the guarantee that this is going to turn out well? But
If
again,
you fail once, try again.
yeah, because if you fail and then you do not try again, then you have actually really failed.
Yeah.
If you fail and then you try again, you could succeed. So
It might not be at the second try. It might
it might be
might
at the
take multiple
it
tries.
might be at the 772 72nd.
You see that this is a bad person. You can hear. You can hear it because how will you want somebody? Oh, the tweet about the person that passed their driving test after 1,000 and was something. It was you that showed me.
No, I think you should be.
Did I? Oh yeah, maybe. You see what we say about like the random conversation that we just talk about. I saw that passed after over 1,000 tries, passed their driving test. Honestly, that is the key. See, that is the message. In fact, that's the end of the episode. I'm sorry. That really is the key. Like, just keep trying.
No, that's
The
actually,
dedication to
that's
it.
actually admirable. You write the test No, we need to
That's
learn.
like they beating
Don't
yourself up.
don't beat yourself up.
I could have done
I
better.
mean,
It's okay to fail. You will not die. It's not the end of the world. You're not the only person. See, that's the truth that the devil wants you to believe, that everybody's doing it right. Why can't you do it right? That's a
because
lie, rather, that the devil wants
you
you
don't
to
see
believe.
the part where they don't do
A
it
lot
right.
of people are doing it wrong, just like you, and they're figuring it out, and then you eventually see when they do it right.
Yeah.
So give yourself some grace as well. Keep trying. If you fail once, try again. And
As you can tell, we are also not like whatever it is we are saying. We are also saying it to ourselves.
yes, oh, by all means, this podcast,
It's not-
I feel like we've mentioned it, and probably should reiterate is
like
that
we're
when we
basically
say between you and us, we really mean that the things that you're experiencing, we're experiencing
it
them as well. So we're
And then
trying to figure
we're all
this
trying
out.
to walk through it together.
We're trying to figure this out one day, one episode, one conversation at a time. So yeah, let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Share with us, and please share this to your friends, enemies.
Tell
I
a
hope
friend
you
to
don't have friends.
Tell
I
a
hope
friend
we
to
don't have
tell a friend
enemies.
to tell a friend.
Exactly. Share it to your aunties, your uncles, your big mummies, your big daddies, everybody, and let us know what you think about some of the things that we speak about. Like, we want to hear, because again, it's between you and us, so it's a conversation, right? We want to hear your own thoughts and what you think about the things that we're discussing, and yeah, we want to learn from you and help us grow and be better.
Okay, so come say hi to us on social media. We are on Instagram
And TikTok.
okay, and TikTok. We are still figuring that out.
We're figuring out both.
I
If
mean,
you want to invest in our life, like volunteer to manage our social media, that would be nice. But don't mind me.
but we want to interact with you. You can
To
send us DMs. We're gonna
Respond.
we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
respond.
that definitely we will. Let us know what you feel. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Until the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for hanging out with us.
We drop new episodes every other Sunday, so make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
We'd love to hear from you. So give us a like, follow, comment, DM on Instagram or TikTok.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.